you when your heart is tired.
Hey yo, in this video we're going to go through and talk about some C9 expeditions, which we all know is going to be the new chaos tier. There is a few things, well, one thing that I noticed not many people have been talking about, and was shown on the DD2 stream, the DD2 Chromatic Games dev stream for the sneak peek. This being what Wyverns where the new Elder Wyverns are actually going to be doing in C9. As we all know, every chaos tier has something special about the enemies, and something like they do that we have to adjust our gameplay in order to counter. C1 being Vanguard, C2 being Cyborg, C3, you know, you got the Geodes, C4 you have Lady Orc, C5 Assassin, C6 Hex throwers, C7 I believe our EMPs, C8 we have spiders. So we all know each one of these enemies do something different that makes us kind of adjust the way we play those chaos tiers, or you know, I should say the chaos tiers after as well, because then those enemies move on to the next one. So C9, my big question was, what do these Elder Dragons actually do? And of course the devs didn't go over it at all, or if they did, I missed it. But I looked at the tooltip. I looked back at the stream, looked at the tooltip when they opened up the war table to see what the tooltip actually says, and it's kind of quite interesting. It's something that we haven't seen in DD2 yet. Now we've seen spiders debuff towers and things, and nodes, R's, and traps and things like that. We see frost orcs slow towers and all that stuff, but we've never seen an enemy actually buff the other enemies around it. By this I mean these new Elder Dragons will be buffing the enemies around it by making it so they have a damage resistance and they have a status effect resistance. Now you're going to be seeing on the screen very soon what I mean by this. So the tooltip says they may no longer be able to fly, but these wyverns can empower nearby enemies, granting them resistance to damage and status effect. Resistance to damage is kind of obvious, we know what that means. Status effects, if you don't know what a status effect is something like a stun, a slow, a poison, a drench, or any type of thing that you can apply onto an enemy. So things like being frozen, shatter, like any type of combinations, all of it will be reduced when those Elder Wyverns are standing around other enemies. And this is huge because we don't know what the I guess the quote-unquote debuff to our towers will be by that. We don't know how much they're going to buff the resistance of the enemies, and this can make it so if too many are stacked up together, an enemy might become unstunnable or unstoppable. And this could be big in Onslaught, because in Onslaught if you have a controlled burn lane, which eventually we know these are going to come to Onslaught, we've seen that with the spiders. So if you have a controlled burn lane with Elder Dragons on it, that's going to be painful to deal with, extremely painful. Now moving on from there, they did say that these are going to be like floor 350. C9 is going to be in comparison to around like 350. Around floor 350, I believe the levels of the enemies are 67,000. For their showcase, they were around 60,000, if I remember correctly. So it's a little bit less than 350, but you know, it was kind of close. Now this new map that they were showcasing, this new map I think it's going to be huge for Onslaught. I think it's going to be a free map, because as of right now all of this can change when it finally releases, but as of right now you're getting 1300 DU for the map, and it only has 5 ground lanes and 2 air lanes. So 1300 DU, 200 DU per ground lane. so that would be 1,000 DU, and then 150 per air lane. So that is huge. But it all depends on how many enemies this map is going to have. Like we've seen the new Westival maps have 700, 800, 900 enemies in Onslaught. So hopefully this map doesn't have too many in Onslaught. If they do put this map in Onslaught. But if it does, I can see this, or I should say if it doesn't, I can see this map being very efficient to play, especially for DU. Just because of how much DU it's currently offering. Now, like I said, all of this can change. The stun resistance could mean absolutely nothing. Like it could be like a 1% resistant, which probably won't be, but it could be. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to go through and do a quick overview on my opinion on the new Wyverns. I'm extremely excited for this update. I'm very excited for the new hero and all of that. I've been planning out the tower builds and planning out the new hero and how I want to build her. But yeah, but that's it for this video, and I shall see you next time.